y'all know when we go see a new badge in the game or something like that, we want to see if it actually works. But as of the description of certain badges, they don't even correlate how the badge actually works. But today I'm gonna end up breaking down some badges that's gonna help you end up getting more stuns, more ankle breakers, and things of that nature. But look, before we get into it, make sure you drop a like on this video, subscribe, and put on post notifications. As those 3 badges we're going to talk about, we're going to start out with ankle breaker, then we're going to end up going to killer combos, and then also we're going to put in the space creator badge. As these 3 badges, these are the main 3 badges that supposedly going to end up giving you ankle breaker animations or stuns off of any dribble move or off of a step back based on how you use it. The first badge we'll get into is the killer combos badge. Improves players' ability to change dribble moves, effective dribble moves together as they're sizing up their opponent. But as of reading the description, I'm gonna be 100% honest. This does not correlate. It does not correlate. You can literally dribble the same speed in the same way without this badge on right now. So if you play right now, take killer combos off, you will dribble the same speed, your dribble moves will connect the same way. It's not going to change anything different. But there's something in there they're not telling us. This badge is literally the new tight handles. A lot of people don't even know that. And it's kind of crazy that this was not added in the description of the badge, but we had to figure out by testing out on our own. But as of the takeovers, a lot of you guys, if you play current gen, you might end up using playmaking takeover. Playmaking takeover is going to get you ankle breakers, things like that. But if you also don't know, shot creator takeover, you can end up getting crazy shot creator ankle breakers off of step backs, things like that, doing space creators. But as of next gen, we have a whole badge for it. It's called ankle breaking shots. And that takeover badge is very slept on. But look, we're gonna end up hopping in the lab. We're gonna play Lil Blacktop. I end up putting James Harden perimeter defense to an 86. He does not have a certain badge that I'm going to mention in the future, but you will tell that the reason why he doesn't have it on right now. As James Harden has an 86 perimeter defense does not have to do anything about you getting stunned. It doesn't have to, it don't matter if you got a 99 perimeter defense, that don't got nothing to do with you getting stunned on this game. As you see, I have literally gold killer combos. I'm stunning James Harden very consistently on this game, doing this some simple combos, putting some moves together. He's getting stunned very consistently. As we end up going back to the 3-point line, you must see, I'm gonna hit a few combos, he's gonna get stunned, or even when I spam my actual moving size up, he's gonna get stunned off that. But as of spamming it, he can definitely get stunned, but it's a one reason why he's getting stunned like this is because he's missing a badge. As of doing killer combos, not everybody's going to be able to like spam this and end up getting the actual stun animation. I would say more skillful players that know how to actually activate this move consistently, they're going to get these animations like I'm getting this animation. But if you're someone that's like the average player, you're not going to get this animation almost every single time when it comes to dribbling the ball. So if you're going to be like, oh, I'm just going to hit moves and try to get actual like a stun animation, it's not going to happen every time. You're going to just be moving your player around, wasting stamina, and it's not going to end up activating a stun animation. So if you're a casual player or an average 2K player, I'm going to tell you this now, you might want to end up hopping in the lab with your killer combos. As of killer combos for the actual chain and moves together, it doesn't do anything. You can literally, if you don't care about getting stuns, you can take killer combos off, but it is a very easy badge to court. As I told you, if you end up doing 3 dribble moves and it's a fast combo, it will end up popping up every single time. That will lead killer combos to pop up. But as I end up putting this one badge that I told you, I put ankle braces on James Harden on silver. As I'm putting ankle braces on silver against James Harden with me having killer combos on gold, his defense got a little bit better. He was getting stunned still, but it wasn't as crazy. But that badge to actually counter these ankle breakers and stuns actually works this year. Y'all know any previous years that ankle braces was in the game, it did not work. It was just so overpowered. Tight handles is overpowering ankle braces, or it just didn't work in general. Ankle breaker in 2K21, you can literally break somebody even with having this badge. But this year, 2K actually made it work. As I'm playing against Kawhi, I end up giving Kawhi gold, and I switched it up sometimes to give him Hall of Fame. As you're seeing, I'm dribbling right now. I'm not getting no actual killer combos, stuns. Mostly killer combos is popping up because I'm putting moves together. As you see, I'm just dribbling, putting moves together. He is not getting stunned. He's sticking to me like glue. Having it on gold or Hall of Fame, it's not going to end up phasing anybody when it comes to dribbling when it got a defender with ankle braces on gold or Hall of Fame. But this man has not got broken yet. He's going to play good defense, but at a certain point, you will see if I end up activating takeover, it's a whole different ball game, but it's going to be still effective when it comes to dribbling on this type of defender that has this actual badge on. And I did end up giving Kawhi Leonard an 86 perimeter defense so it can be even, so you can tell the difference. as of having actual ankle braces on, they play way better defense and they do not get stunned as much, but they definitely can get stunned as long as you end up having that actual killer combos on the highest tier. I would say if you're going to use killer combos, use it on gold and Hall of Fame. That's the highest you need it on, because anything less than that is pointless. Those stuns are not going to be very apparent and they're not going to be very consistent. So I would say gold and Hall of Fame is the best thing to use when it comes to using this. But even with me in takeover, I can still get a few stuns, but it's not going to be really crazy because the ankle braces is really going to save it, even with having ankle breaking shots takeover. And if this badge is in a good player's hand, it's going to be really hard to stop that player. But as to the next badge, ankle breaker, we all know ankle breaker from all the 2Ks, all the way from like 2K13, from 2K20, 2K22. We know how ankle breaker works. Ankle breaker can be a hit or a miss, as this badge is supposed to help you actually stun and actually make players fall off of step backs and certain moves. If they end up going the wrong way, it does end up doing it sometimes. But as of 2K23, they actually did a good job somewhat. They did somewhat a good job. They boosted it, but at a certain point, the ankle breaker animations don't connect. As I do a crossover and it gets the defender out the way, I won't get an ankle breaker. But if I end up doing a little hesitation and then I'll do a nice little crossover, then I'll do a spin back, he might get an animation, but it's not the animation that's like a good animation. It's an animation where the defender's falling and it goes right into me, or they end up getting an ankle breaker and they end up falling into my actual dribble moves while I'm still moving. But as of me playing with this and testing out ankle breaker, I noticed I really wasn't getting no ankle breakers without actual shot crit and takeover. As of me having this shot crit or ankle breaker and takeover plus ankle breaker, I was getting some ankle breakers. But without it, having just ankle breaker by itself on Hall of Fame, I really wasn't getting nothing crazy. I was getting a few little stumbles here and there, but it wasn't very consistent. But look, if you end up using this badge, I would say if you got extra badge points, I would say most at silver. And if you gotta run ankle breaker shot takeover, that's the only way I can say this badge will really work consistent. At that point, I would say don't even waste your badge points. Don't even waste your badge points. If you don't got enough badge points to end up messing around with new badges like this, don't even put it on. You can just put ankle breaking shots takeover and you can rock out with that and you can go stupid. So look, if you're gonna end up trying to test out ankle breaker by itself, I'm gonna save you the time. Don't just try out ankle breaker by itself. Even if you use playmaking boost, it's gonna end up getting you a little more ankle breaker animations, but it's not very consistent. So don't waste those extra 4 badge points or 6 badge points, or whatever you're gonna end up having in the tier. Don't even waste it. I would tell you to save those badge points, and I'd rather you end up putting shot crit and ankle breaking take on instead of ankle breaking takeover. So as of the last badge, this is one of those badges that was added in 2K20. Yeah, this is a badge that was added in 2K20 Space Creator. The description for this badge definitely changed a few times out of the past few years, but as of this year, it's usually off step backs, but most of the time it was off step backs, spin jumpers, all those type of things, even off hop jumpers. But that's one thing I can definitely say, hop jumpers definitely work as a step back. As of the hop jumpers you can pick from, a lot of you guys, y'all might end up using Curry, you might use De'Aaron Fox, you might use Kyle Lowry, you might even use Jason Tatum or Devin Booker that was in the seasons. But now remember, this James Harden has an 86 perimeter defense, no ankle braces. As of this James Harden having no ankle braces, watch the step back. I'm gonna break them, easy. It's gonna take a few times, but it's gonna be very consistent based on who's gonna be guarding you. And it does matter about the angle. The angle does matter. If the player is not somewhat parallel from where you at, you're not going to get the ankle breaker animation off the step back. But look, as a Kawhi having this actual ankle braces on gold or even Hall of Fame, because I did switch it up a few times, I'm really not going to get it consistently, but I will catch the animation if he's at the right angle. That's what really matters. As long as you're somewhat parallel, you're going to get it based on how they're playing you. So you can't just do a step back and think you're just going to get an ankle breaker. Because right here, I'm going to try to get a step back, I'm going to get it. Then I'm going to find him at the right spot, got him again. As long as you know where the angle is, you're going to get the step back ankle breaker every single time. Before the rest of the game and me end up playing Kawhi, it was very hard for me to get that animation again and again, because once I kept doing it, he ended up playing it. But as I have an ankle breaking shot take, it actually got easier and easier since I ended up getting takeover, and I was going to do a space creator animation of a step back to end up activating the move. So every time I was doing it, I was getting it very consistently. As of right now, I was trying to do snatches and I did a step back. He wasn't close enough. That's another thing. If the defender is not close enough of you doing that step back to activate this ankle breaker animation, you're not going to get the ankle breaker animation. You got to be parallel, plus you got to be somewhat close enough. As a Kawhi, I hit him with a nice little step back crossover and it gave me a space creator animation. So you can do it off step backs as well. And what I mean by step backs this time is moving step backs, like the Luka Doncic moving step back when you flick your right stick down, the Jimmy Butler step back when you end up doing a little hezzy and you can run the same way. those type of step backs. As of the one I'm doing right now with Curry, I'm using my right stick doing a hop back to end up breaking James Harden down every single time as I'm getting very close to him and doing a step back animation. And if you're someone that's thinking, bro, can I use playmaking boost to end up still getting these animations very consistent? Yes, you can use playmaking boost to end up getting these animations, because as this being a shooting badge, it's still as a dribble move as well. So as we're gonna end up using this badge, I would say gold or Hall of Fame. If there would be anything less than that, it's pointless. That's the same thing like killer combos. If it ain't gold and it ain't Hall of Fame, don't even touch it, don't even put it on. But if you haven't yet, make sure y'all boys subscribe to the channel, put on post notifications if you haven't yet, like the video. Hey, check out these 2 videos on the screen. It might end up making you a better 2K player, you never know. It's been your man ChaMoma. I'm gonna see y'all boys in the next one, and I'm out.